2 other individuals at large, and there's been some activity recently that I don't have all the details on yet, but as soon as we do, we'll make it available.
And I know they have part of, or at least at last check, they had part of Black Rock Turnpike blocked off down there. Can you tell us what's going on down that way?
We believe that's part of the active investigation. There were 2 individuals seen. We're trying to identify whether or not those individuals were connected to what was happening, early this morning. But again, we'll have those details as they become available.
Was anything stolen inside of the home? Were people there? Did anyone get hurt?
We don't, as of right now, no reported injuries, and within the last 45 minutes, we actually cleared the residence with the regional SWAT team, and no assailants were found in the home. And as of right now, again, no reported injuries to any of the parties involved, including the suspects.
People were home at the time.
People were home at the time, yes. The details, motive, all of that information is still currently being investigated and not available.
And I know when we spoke earlier, you said, obviously someone was picked up in Hamden. There's a potential investigation involving Uber. Does it look like the person got into an Uber and drove towards Hamden?
As of right now, has not been confirmed, but it appears that's part of the equation. And as that becomes available, we'll obviously confirm that. But we're still looking into that.
We've seen a lot of activity just within a quarter mile. Give us some idea the size of this SWAT team, the size of the response we're looking at.
I don't know how many members of the regional SWAT team actually arrived, but we have SWAT team members from that team. We have Fairfield police officers, detectives. We have members of our accident investigation unit. We have our own drones up in the air monitoring the situation, trying to keep an eye on the suspects and everything that's currently happening.
I know the investigation was focused on Candlewood Road. Now it's kind of sporadic everywhere. People were being asked to shelter in place on that road. Has that been lifted, and what is the recommendation for other folks in the area?
I would just say the recommendation is expect to see law enforcement in this area in many different forms, in the forms of cars and lights and sirens and officers on foot. Out of abundance of caution, we closed both Fairfield Ward High School and McKinley Elementary School. So there's definitely going to be a large presence in the area for some time, and my understanding is Candlewood is still shut down for all the reasons that we already talked about.
And people are still being asked to stay inside their homes.
Correct. I know that some units left Candlewood to go explore what was happening further down the road, so I'm not sure the exact presence on Candlewood, but out of abundance of safety, I would recommend that people stay in their homes and out of that area.
You've had one suspect in custody for a few hours now. Is there
Correct.
anything you can tell us about that person? Is he previously known to police?
As of right now, they haven't released any details on who he is and what he may have said or not said. We're still waiting for that information to come available.
And I know you said that you had seen the 2 suspects that you believe are still in this area. You had seen them. How long ago was it that you all saw them? I don't know if it was the investigators firsthand or cameras that saw them.
The details have not been confirmed, but they were seen by residents. Possibly trying to flag down cars, and then that expanded from there to a building located on Black Rock Turnpike a little further down the road from Burroughs.
Was anyone hiding in a home on Candlewood, or what?
We had reason to believe for a majority of this incident that there were 2 other assailants inside the home, and we were possibly a barricaded situation, but again, no further details on exactly how that transpired. Whether they were not in the house and hiding in the area, we don't know.
Detective, do we know what type of weapons or lethal weapons used at this point?
My understanding is that there was at a minimum 1 firearm involved. As far as how many more, exactly what type of firearms, that has not been released, and I'm not aware of any information related to that yet.
Do you know if they were wearing masks and concealing
dark clothing, masks, hooded sweatshirts has been the description so far.
The people who were home, are they cooperating with the investigation?
With the house just being cleared, I'm not aware of what those communications and interviews have resulted in, so we're still waiting to hear back on that.
It seems sort of fluid, but do we know the number of suspects that are involved here?
As of right now, I've heard the number 4 has been pretty consistent from the onset of the investigation.
And one of them, like you said, was arrested in Hamden.
There's an individual detained in Hamden that we believe was a suspect, but that has not been confirmed.
Okay.
And then there was one arrested upon our immediate arrival, and then there was the 2 that are outstanding that I mentioned earlier.
Anything else that you think is important to mention to families? This might be a scary thing for it to be happening in their neighborhood, especially a very busy part of Fairfield.
I would just say expect to see law enforcement in the area for the coming hours until this has all been resolved, and obviously updates will be released as soon as we have them.
Thank you, Detective.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Sorry for my sway.
Yeah,